Hi, my name is Lucy from Lucy and Russ's Property Chat. I wanted to have a little chat about sourcing today and how I work as a sourcing agent and whether that could help anybody who's looking to get into property sourcing or investors that are looking to work with sourcing agents. So essentially, a lot of my clients will use me because they could go out there and find the properties themselves. That is a given, and I like to help my clients with as much information about the area that I operate in so that they can do just that and find their own properties. But a lot of them live in different parts of the country or internationally and will want to use me as a sourcing agent because I am feet on the ground and I can find them properties, and that's worth it for them because they're what you would probably call cash rich, time poor, or they just see it as an advantage by paying somebody to find that exact investment that they want so that they can do it straight away, because the property market is an absolute minefield, especially at the moment, and it's quite, unless you are there every day viewing properties, going into estate agents, working the area and trying to find deals, it's extremely hard. At the moment, during the global pandemic and everything that's happened with stamp duty relief, properties are just going like that. It's really, really tricky to find properties. For us, we're really lucky because I've spent the last 5 years building a reputation in the area and getting marketing out across the areas that we cover. So we currently cover Coventry, Warwickshire, and now we've just moved into Leicestershire. And a lot of our properties will come to us direct to vendor. Now that didn't come straight away. That is from 5 years of turning up and getting our brand out there and making people aware of the benefit of selling their property to us over putting it on the open market. So a lot of our properties that we've had, offers that we've had accepted at the moment, have been direct to vendor or through other agents in the area that we know well that will introduce us to landlords or vendors selling their properties. So when I first started sourcing, I think one of the things I would say from when I started, you really need to look at what it is that your sourcing business is going to be. So when I started, I just sourced properties, and they were buy-to-let properties, to exchange and completion. I didn't help with anybody's power team, so I didn't source a builder, I didn't project manage the refurb, I didn't help with interiors, I didn't help with furniture, I didn't then look after the lettings. It would be just finding buy-to-let properties, seeing that through for the investors to meet their criteria and then leaving it. Now that was great because there was a lot of investors looking for those sorts of deals and I had the time to go and find them, but I was having to drive 60 miles to that area every single day. Now, when I decided to start a sourcing company and work for myself, it's because I wanted freedom. I wanted freedom to be a mum and be able to do the school run and go to swimming lessons and school plays and not have to ask someone's permission to actually be a mum to my own children. And a lot of my freedom was taken away from having to travel 60 miles to source these properties, because when you're a sourcing agent, you've got to be there, you've got to be visible, you've got to be on it. When an agent brings you to view a property, you've got to be able to be there that day or the next day to go and see it, because if you haven't, somebody else will go and see it and they will get that property. So it was being feet on the ground, and that is what your clients pay for, is having that person there that knows the area and is going to be finding those deals that work. So I decided to bring it closer to home, still in the Midlands area, and what worked in this area, and this is only because of the criteria that my investors look for. So they ask me to find properties that will give them a certain return on the money that they've invested, or they might be looking for a certain cash flow to come in to either add to the income that they make or eventually replace their income so that they can then have that and they can quit their jobs and live the life they want to live, or however they want to do it. So what worked in this area for many reasons, for the returns, for the cash flow, for the tenant demand of in the area, and because of the property types, the floor plans and the layouts, was HMOs, which is houses of multiple occupancy, shared housing, multi-let, whatever you want to call it. That works in this area that I operate. Now I had to think about it, and because I was doing it on my doorstep, I wanted to offer a turnkey service to my investors, because I saw the longevity in it's great getting a sourcing fee off your client for finding the property that fits the criteria that they've asked you to find. But what I was then interested in was, if it was on my doorstep, the residual income that I was then missing out on by then giving the rest of the process to somebody else. And as I was growing my business and as we were investing ourselves, I was learning what you could do to offer a better service in my mind. So when I brought central sourcing on the doorstep, I could then find properties. I could then become central sourcing and conversions, and I could convert those properties. It started with the smaller properties, so kind of 2 or 3 bedroom houses that we would then convert into 4-bed, 5-bed HMOs, multi-lets. And that grew to 6 beds, 7 beds, going for sui generis planning and up. And now we do studio conversions, we convert flats, and I'm really proud of how that's now grown and how we've grown organically. We have 2 great project managers. We have a great site foreman that oversees multiple teams that do multiple projects at once. And that hasn't happened overnight. That's happened through having a great team that have the skill set that work together and keeping on top and organising all of our projects and updating our investors weekly on what we're doing and what their project's doing. So we do everything, and I do the refurb. Then I thought, right, okay, we're doing all of these conversions, and we used to have a very kind of a blueprint of grey walls, black furniture, it's very, very kind of these tiles, this kitchen, everything, and all of a sudden everything looked the same on the market. Right, okay, let's look at an interior company, and that's where Furnishing My Property came in to help with the interiors, to make every property slightly different and stand out in the market. Furnishing, because houses are multiple occupancy, you need the furniture in place when tenants move in, so sourcing all of those furniture packs for our investors. And then we wanted to look after the lettings afterwards, and that's where Rent a Room and Proud Love Lettings were born. So they could be specialist lettings agencies, because the HMO lettings market is extremely different to the buy-to-let market. So I then kind of honed in on that whole turnkey product that I was going to offer my clients, and that's what I grew. So I would say to anybody that's wanting to become a sourcing agent, look at what you want to achieve, at what you want to offer your clients, at what you want to build. Make sure that you market yourself. Make sure that you get out there, you put the time in, and you make yourself visible and grow your business to what it is that you want to offer, or get some great relationships with people in the area that you can work alongside if you don't want to offer everything. Anybody that's wanting to work with a sourcing agent, make sure that you go and meet them, you sit down, you look at them in the eye, you see the projects they're doing, you talk to people that they're working with, you see all of their compliance, and you even though you're paying someone to outsource finding properties, you know your area, you know the team, because you're going to work with them long term if they're offering the whole turnkey experience. But more than anything, whether you're starting a sourcing business or whether you're looking to invest in properties, my biggest bit of advice is just get going. I spent far too long procrastinating and going what if, and sourcing properties for other people, and this, letting things get in the way. Just get out there and get investing and follow your dream and do what you want to do. Do it the right way, look at all the risks, weigh everything up, but essentially do it. Give our page a like and subscribe to hear more of what we're up to over the next coming weeks.